Hello. There we go. I think that's working. Please work. Let me know if you can hear me now. Can y'all hear me now? Let me know. Type a one in the chat or whatever y'all do. Hell yeah. Let's go. All right. What's up, everyone? How are y'all doing? What are y'all up to? Y'all just chilling on a Saturday. Hello. How's everyone doing? First live stream. I apologize. I don't know how any of this works right now. I think my mic was connected to my AirPods and it wasn't picking up, so I had to start it over. Worked a 12-hour shift. It's brutal. Where's everybody from? I recognize y'all from the comments. Canada, nice. I've always wanted to visit Canada. Vietnam, wow. Awesome. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate you guys so much. Wait till the summer. Yeah, is it cold as hell right now? What is it, January 10th? I'm here in San Antonio, Texas, and it's literally, let's see. Well, it's 42, which is like pretty cold for us. Like everyone starts freaking out when it gets really cold, but our winters are like 80 degrees. Like it's crazy. I kind of like a cold winter though, because I mean, during the summer, it's like 105 and it's like ridiculous. Like I don't even want to go outside during the summer, because you just start sweating through your clothes. And I would like a little bit of polarity, but it's like February is when a random like ice storm will come, but it's like 3 weeks that we get of winter, and then it's back to just being super hot and humid. What up? What's up, man? How's everybody's day been? Yeah, so I just came on here to, answer any questions that y'all may have. I know there's a lot of questions in the comments and everything, and I thought this might be a little bit easier to answer any questions that y'all had, and anything that was on your mind. Definitely here to address it. So just let me know. What is that? Everybody been getting their SPs and everything? Getting everything they ever wanted? Lishi, hi, my SP is friends with me, and I made it clear that he doesn't want to be with me anymore. Should I remain friends with him in the 3D? I keep getting triggered and spiraling. Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter what you do in the 3D. It matters the identity that it is coming from. It doesn't matter the action that you take. It matters the identity behind it. So you could literally do whatever you want in the 3D. Friends is my SP is friends with me, and it made clear that he doesn't want to be with me anymore. Should I remain friends with him? If you keep getting triggered and spiraling, then I would say maybe distance yourself from that. But at the end of the day, this version of him that you're experiencing in the 3D is not the version that we're paying attention to anymore. The version that we're paying attention to is the one internally. When you go within and when you start claiming anew, the true reality is within. The true version of him that already exists right here and now, because there is only now, exists internally. This one in the 3D that is telling you that he doesn't want to be with you anymore and all of that, we can completely look at that one with indifference because it has nothing to do with you anymore. So when you understand how reality works, as within, so without, and you understand that the true reality is within, you can look at the outside world, the external world, as nothing to do with you anymore. So it really doesn't matter what this person shows up as externally. It doesn't match up with your new story anymore. It's like being called the wrong name. Like if somebody came up and called you the incorrect name, you would feel very indifferent to it. You wouldn't have any you wouldn't emotionally react, right? That's how we need to look at this situation. Um, and again, your emotions are completely neutral. You can feel all of these emotions, but again, you can look at those emotions as this has nothing to do with me anymore. You know, people wake up all the time. People who are millionaires or people who are in the best relationship of all time wake up feeling anxious or sad or any of these emotions, but that doesn't take away what they already have, right? So just identify with the internal world and look at the outside with indifference. See everything is happening for you. New Zealand, I want romance with my platonic friend, also identical situation. We text daily. So yeah, just go to your end. Whatever your end is, all you have to do is claim that and be the version of yourself who is in that end right now. And everything else will unfold to it. You don't have to figure out the middle and all these little details of, you know, how this is supposed to play out, all of these little tiny details on the bridge of incidents that are going to play out. All you have to do is go to your end and everything will unfold itself in the path of least resistance. Your higher self knows how all of this is going to play out in the path of least resistance. So all you have to do is go to your end and remain that throughout your entire day. This isn't like I'm doing this for a certain amount of time to get this. You are now and forever this person that you say you are. Baltimore, thank you for being here. Yes, Jarez. Saying that it's going to happen because it already did, it's already done, while staying in the desired reality is fine. It doesn't imply no, it doesn't. It's only if you say it does. Your mind knows what it's talking about. Layers by Nav Deep. Your mind knows exactly what you're talking about. Um, it's not rigid as if it didn't compute if you said it in a certain way. It knows what you're implying, right? So if you understand that the true reality is within and externally, this is the old story, this is the illusion, you can completely say you know, I understand the end within, but I understand that outside it is unfolding still. But I don't identify with the external world. That's completely fine. No, it doesn't. Your higher self, your mind is very, very intelligent, way more intelligent than our logical mind, which is kind of what we're bringing in, what you're bringing into this comment of being like, it needs to be sliced a certain way so that I feed it to my higher self correctly. No, it knows exactly what you're talking about. Selena, what is your advice if I can be in a state for like a day, then I have a problem with compulsive checking 3D, even though I still have my head positive radio with affirmations, but I check 3D regularly? Well, I would say that the person who needs to check if something has happened in the 3D, it implies that you are not that person who has it. If you were the person who had this thing, if you were in the state, I don't know what your end is here, what your desire is or whatever, but if you want to be in the state of being that you prefer to be, and you were that person already, you wouldn't need to check the outside for proof. If you had something, take anything of like one of your personal belongings or something that you have, and you just like know in the back of your mind that you have, it's not even a second thought. You don't need to go and check to see if you have it, right? Checking implies that you don't have. When you don't need something, that means you have it. When you need something, that means you don't have it. So it's all of this is understanding how manifestation works. Manifestation works as within, so without, as above, so below. I'm sure all of you have heard this, but when you can understand where reality comes from your consciousness, from internal, your internal story, your dialogue, what you expect to be true, um, how you speak and think and define things in your reality and about yourself, and your track record, right? So there is only now. So whenever you are remembering something, whenever you're predicting something in the future, you are bringing it into the now, and your mind doesn't know the difference. So when you remember yourself in a certain social situation, and you're like, "Oh, I've always been awkward in social situations." Your mind goes, "Okay, it's happening now." It doesn't have any proof or evidence in the 3D currently, but you are remembering something that is not tangible yet in the 3D, and you are bringing it into the now, and you re-experience it once again in the 3D. And then you go, "Look, I told you, there's the proof and evidence." And then you reselect it, and then you remember it, and you reselect it, and you experience it once again. It's like a recycling bin, right? So just claim what you have in the now and understand that this 3D reality, this external reality, is the old story that you have selected over and over and over again. So it can't validate this new story because it's the other story. So when you can start looking at this external reality with indifference and identifying heavily with what you see within, that's when things start to shift. That's when things start to wiggle. People start, looking at you differently. People start showing up differently. People start coming up to you and being like, something's different about you. Like, I don't know what it is, but something's just different about you. And, when you can remain steadfast in that and fulfill yourself so much within, that's when the magic happens. When you don't need the 3D to reflect it. When you have fulfilled yourself internally, you don't need the 3D to reflect it. That's when it reflects because reality bends to who you're being. Okay. Got to write a question, and the answer is in it. Saw SP twice in a week after 2 years of not seeing each other. Comms are kind of quiet now, but I know she's mine, and it's unfolding perfectly. That's perfect. Don't even be aware that comms are kind of quiet. Go within and see her completely blowing your phone up. Completely disregard, like, I'm not saying to disregard the 3D, like, play by the 3D rules and everything, but understand that it is the old story. Like, you can smile in the face of the old because you know that it's not the true thing anymore. It's not the true reality anymore. You are selecting something within, and you are basically, like, putting a cake into an oven that is baking. All the while, the opposite story is in your face, trying to tell you it's this and it's opposite and it's the other thing. You can just smile. You know the end of the movie. right? So don't give the end of the movie away. But yeah, you're doing it perfectly. You know she's yours and it's unfolding perfectly. That's all you need to do. Just remain still, remain peaceful, and just know the power that you have within. I have to thank you for really helping me not spiral when I was doing work to attract my SP as my mate. Your circumstances don't matter was a lifesaver. Glad to hear it. You got it, man. I mean, it's really crazy the power that we have within when you become aware to this stuff. Because again, we've been doing this our entire life, and we've been selecting usually nonsense for ourselves without any proof or evidence, but we have all of this faith within the nonsense, and we don't even give it a second thought. And then it creates in front of us, and we're like, "Oh, look, yeah, I told you. What do you know?" Right? So having faith in the opposite end of the positive spectrum is, looked at as delusional, and it's looked at as like wishful thinking and things like that. And it's just the other end of the spectrum. Just start thinking and expecting and believing and describing everything in your favor, and it happens the same way. Let's see. That's cool. I know notice all y'all from the comments. That's cool. Thank y'all for being here. We have been in a situationship for 3 years. He is my husband in the 4D. We are also friends. I want better communication and commitment. So yeah, just go to your end. Whatever your end is, identify with that right now. You know, you don't have to you don't have to worry about time. You don't have to check the 3D to see if it's happening. If he is your husband in the 4D, that's where reality is created from. So all of this again is understanding that the 4D is where it comes from. We have been trained so long to trust our five senses as the truth when really it is we are communicating with an illusion around us. We have been also conditioned that what we imagine is some fairy tale land, some fake thing, something that's just like imaginatory and not real. When actually that's where everything if you look around your entire room or initial setting that you're in, everything that was ever created was initially created in the imagination. So it's silly to think that the imagination is something that's fake or fluffy. That's where reality is created. If you can start perceiving everything in your favor as the way you would like to experience it, you will see it firsthand. And, I don't know if it takes a little bit of proof or whatever for you to start believing, but I'm just here to tell you that that's the way that it works. That's the way that it's worked for me. And I just want to, shave down a lot of time for people because I've been through the ringer with all of this. And it's so much easier than you're making it. I used to make it so freaking difficult on myself. I used to think that there was a process. I used to think that there was one clear cut way to do this. And it really boils down to like, what are you giving power to? Whatever you think works is what works. Whether it's this coach's philosophy or this coach's philosophy, or if you think you need a technique, or if you think you need to decide, or if you think you need to stand on your head, or whatever. It's like like do a ritual, tarot cards, whatever. Like you're giving the power to these things. It's not the thing making this happen. It's you giving the belief this is what's making it happen. So why not just give faith to yourself? At the end of the day, all of this is coming from self. All right. Girlfriend, all right. I'm working on this. I think I'm going to a right way, but I always have a feeling that I am not working enough, not applying practice enough. Okay, well, so in your reality, you are always correct. If you feel that you are not working enough, if you need to apply, you're not applying a practice enough, then you're correct. Then you will always need a process. Again, these feelings that you have, these emotions and feelings that you have are completely neutral until you define it, until you assign a meaning to it. So you can feel these feelings, but you can say, I'm already perfect. I have everything that I've ever wanted. Right? It's always your word in your world, in your perspective. It's always your world, your word against the entire world. It's what you define. It's what you say. You are always correct. So you are so powerful that you can say, I think I need a process, and you will need a process. You can very much say, I know enough. I know everything I need to know. I have everything I've ever wanted. Everything is perfect now. And it will be just that. And if you feel the opposite, you can look at those feelings as this has nothing to do with me anymore. This doesn't confirm my new story, right? So again, identify with the true reality. All of these feelings that are coming up is a mechanism of the old identity trying to clap back at you and be like, no, 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 no. We're not used to this. We're not used to this. Let me try anything that I can to draw you back into the old reality, into the old identity. That's its job. That's your ego's job. That is your initial old identity's job, is to keep you safe and familiar. So when you start feeding it something new, when you start saying, actually, everything's perfect, I have everything I've ever wanted, it's going to fight back even harder and be like, no, let me try and show you every single reason that you're incorrect. And if you can look at that with indifference and be like, no, actually, that's not my story anymore. That has nothing to do with me anymore. Then it starts to wither away a little bit, starts becoming a little quieter. And then you start growing a new voice that starts hyping you up instead of trying to draw you back. You start creating a new identity. That's how identity works. You're shifting into a new identity with what you are feeding yourself every day, internally, what you speak externally, your behaviors, all the way down the line. It's who you are being at the end of the day. All right, let's see. To get it here. Very thankful for you. You're a wonderful reflection of me who reminded me of my true self. Absolutely. I appreciate you. I mean, it's you doing it at the end of the day, you know? I could show you the door, but you got to walk through it. Thank you. That was very helpful. Absolutely. Thank you. No problem. One thing that still confuses me is whether to be specific or general when it comes to my SP. Other stuff, I naturally do it, but when it comes to romance, I don't know whether I should manifest my ex. It's all up to you. I mean, whatever you want. You can have anything and everything. You can be specific or general. Um, Typically with like self-concept stuff, I like to be general. I like to say things like everything always works out for me. Um, I don't typically like to say, as far as like desires go and stuff, like if it comes to like money, I don't like to be like, I have $100,000, because like my ego will clap back pretty hard. Um, do I like to keep it kind of more vague, but again, it's up to you. Like in your reality, if you need to figure out what you want your end to be, and whatever that end is, just claim it right now and be it, and then reality will shift itself to you. Shot callers. Be the person with your wish. You don't have to try or do technique. You want it? It's done. P.S. Love you. Love your the movie ending advice. Yes, yeah, that was a big one for me. Whenever I was going through all of this, like that was one that really clicked. Another one that really clicked for me was like, I like to pretend that I came from a future timeline where I was the version of me who had everything that I could ever desire, and I had the perfect self-concept, and then for some reason, I came back to this present timeline where, like, everything in front of me in my 3D was opposing it, but I was still remaining the person of the future timeline who had all of these things. So it was very easy to look at the 3D with indifference and be like, "That has nothing to do with me. Doesn't matter. Doesn't spiral me emotionally. I know who I am. I know what I have." Near proxy, or I should just focus on being fulfilled in love and just allow the best to show up instead of focusing how it specifically comes. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, trying to decide how it comes is not up to you. We have such a limited perspective as far as our logical brain and the perspective of consciousness that we have. The totality of us, our higher self, decides the path of least resistance, when it should come, how it should come, what person needs to move, what things need to happen in order for this to come. But all you have to do is be the person now. Focus on being fulfilled and loved, and everything and everyone in your reality will reflect it. All right, let's see. I had a question. When I see movement in 3D, I get slipping away into the 3D. Like if 10 out of 100 happens, I get a little obsessive or into the movement fully. And somehow, howsoever fulfilled I am, I don't know. Yeah, so you really shouldn't be aware of movement. Like if you understand how reality works, that the true reality is within, then if you were the person right now who had their thing or was the person that they wanted to be fully 100%, you wouldn't be aware of movement because that implies that you don't fully have it yet. If you had your phone, you wouldn't be aware of movement to get your phone. That doesn't make sense. You already have your phone. So again, looking at the 3D as an illusion, as the old story, when things start to wiggle a little bit, you can look at it and just be like, yeah, it's unfolding perfectly. But to identify and be like, oh, I'm getting movement. Oh, I'm getting movement now. You are now the person who is getting movement and doesn't fully have the thing. So sure, you can acknowledge that movement is happening, but to get, you know, giddy and obsessive about it implies, oh, this is working. Oh, things are happening. Well, if things are happening, things haven't happened yet, right? That makes sense? Let's see. So I saw in your post YouTube short of Cover the Matrix. I watched the movie again. Yeah, there is no spoon. After watching a lot of your videos on YouTube and watch the movie again, makes me more resonant. Yes, yes, there is no spoon. There is only you. This entire universe, this entire game of life, there is zero separation. Consciousness is all that there is. Awareness is all that there is. It ties in from me to you, to the plants, to the animals, to everything that is living. There's all one mind, right? So whenever you bend, the spoon bends. You're not bending a spoon because the spoon is for you to bend a spoon that would imply that you are separate from it. The spoon bends to you. There is no spoon. It's only you. Let's see. Dion Tyler, great name. Hey, I hope you remember me. I don't know your name. Around December 9th, I sent a few people to your page, and we all were watching some of your videos that night. Dion Tyler. Where do I know you from? My name's Tyler as well. Anyway, well, good to see you again. Astrobot, what's up, my man? Good to see you. I recognize all y'all from the comments. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all are an awesome community. We got the best community of all time. Your proxy. As I contemplated, I understand why you asked the specific versus general question. I feel it's easier to manifest someone general instead of my ex. I'm denying my powers here. I just realized. Yeah, but again, I mean, you can have anybody you want because there are infinite versions of your ex. There's a version of your ex right right now that isn't choosing you. There's also a version of your ex that is completely head over heels in love with you and everything in between. Infinite means infinite. So it's whatever you select within. Whenever your ex comes to mind and whenever you think of them, however you describe them is ultimately how you're going to experience them. So the fact that like we see this version of our ex in the 3D, the physical plane, and we expect them to show up a certain way because of past memories, they just recreate it for us. They prove us right all the time. Zoro, what's up, man? Bro, my self concept skyrocketed. Hell yeah. Now when I doubt myself, I now tell my old self, you're fucking scared of me. Tyler, now I love myself more. Dude, that's great, man. Like that's how I talk to my old self as well. Whenever that old voice kind of creeps up, I'm like, no, fuck you. Actually, this is the way it is. And it's fun. And it sits down and it's quiet, you know? When you raise your self-concept, like it's crazy. It's crazy how things shift. So many people want to place their focus on desires and these things that are outside of them. And that's fine, but ultimately what that does, if you kind of have this like low self-concept, if you're constantly affirming that like you have a lot of money or like your SP is in love with you, but you have a self-concept that says I'm not loved, you might get them. But whenever, you're done with doing all your techniques or robotically affirming and your SP comes back in, you have this concept of I'm not chosen, I'm not the priority. They'll reflect that back to you and they'll leave just as quickly as they came. So self concept is the core of all of it. It is the reason why you have all of these desires. So, just create the ultimate self concept, like go all the way off. I like to be over the top with it. I like to be super exaggerative. And, some people frown upon that, but I really don't give a shit. It's my own reality. And I suggest it for a lot of people. I've found a lot of success with it. And, it's working out perfectly. Hi, hello, hello. From India. Damn, I got people all over the globe. That's awesome. Ashabot, yep, it's all Maya. You're the dreamer inside the dream inside a dream. Exactly. That sounds like Alan Watts right there. Victoria, thank you for doing a live for all the subscribers. Absolutely. This is the first of many to come. I just wanted to get the community all together because, again, we have the greatest community of all time. And yeah, it's only up from here. We're going to get our shit. Girlfriend, it's hard for people to find the inner self and separate from the 3D. Yeah, no, I get it. Like, especially whenever you're first starting out and you're, on Reddit and you're bouncing around from coach to coach, you really don't know what to believe. But you don't have to believe me, but take it from somebody who's gone through every single YouTube coach and Reddit post and Neville Goddard book and Joseph Murphy book that there is. Um, it it really is your consciousness that manifests, and the 3D really is the old story and the old reality that you have selected over and over. So when you can look at it as that like dichotomy or that like dynamic, you can see how the 3D is trying to fight back to keep you back in the old story. And when you understand that, you can just like you can look at it with indifference. You can just like look at it as your perfect unfolding. But when this stuff really clicks, like life becomes a video game, and that's how I live my everyday. It's just like a video game. Anything that opposes my story, I just play along with it. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. I don't give the secret away. I don't give the ending of the movie away. I know how the movie ends, so I'm not going to spoil the movie for anybody that tries to oppose my end. But you know, just keep going. Just keep telling yourself the greatest story of all time, and you will see things reflected to you in that way. Ashtabot, anybody means exactly that. Anybody. You are all versions of me pushed out. Pick the one you desire and that desires you back. Ashtabot, you get it, man. You absolutely get it. That's it. Kurti Sharma, self concept is the Rouge brand. Yes, exactly. You get it as well. I see you in the comments. Shot callers, message retracted. Got the first message retracted. Victoria, could you give some advice on how to tackle a limiting belief when you know exactly what it is? I know that I need to fix my self concept regarding being chosen and pursued. Just tell yourself that you are being chosen and pursued. Um, the fact that you are aware of this limiting belief is what is keeping it in your reality, right? So if your awareness was like, if you put a headlamp on, right? Or like a lighthouse, yeah, you got like a headlamp on, like a little helmet with like a little light, and you're shining it around like in a dark room, and everything that could ever possibly exist exists in this one room, and you're shining it on limiting beliefs. I have limiting beliefs. That is what is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. So all you need to do is take your headlamp off of the limiting beliefs that will exist forever and ever if you choose to experience it, and choose it on I am perfect right now. Wait, I'm trying to find your yeah. Shine it on, "I am perfect right now. I am chosen and pursued. I'm the greatest to ever do it. My self-concept is top tier. There's no process what to go through so whatsoever." All you need to do is shine your awareness on the greatest thing ever. There is no process unless you say so. There is no limiting belief unless you say so. Zorro, yeah, it's scary. The more you focus on yourself, the less you think about your desires. Yeah, because you understand that it's all coming from you. These desires are just like um, little aspects of yourself that you want to experience. They're not things outside of you anymore. They're little just yeah, different aspects that you're like, "Oh, I would like to experience it this way." Boom, it's done. Okay, great, cool. Shot caller, play a video game, easy mode or hard mode, you decide. Correct. Exactly. Dion Tyler, first, what time is it where you are? It is 11:26 p.m. I'm in San Antonio, Texas. Also, if someone don't know where to focus regarding self-concept and manifesting different areas, what is something general to affirm and how often to affirm it? So, my take is to constantly describe your self-concept in every way, shape, and form that you possibly can. So, usually, as we're going throughout our day, we are internal. We are we have this internal dialogue, and we are thinking to ourselves all day. This is probably going to go this way. Oh, I have to do this at 3 p.m. Oh, this person said this to me at 12 p.m. Blah blah blah. So, if you can become aware of that and start steering it into the direction that you want without seeing proof or evidence externally, then that's when your reality starts molding it towards you. So whether it's an area of love or money or health or career or whatever, just start saying you're the greatest to ever do it. Everything you do touches everything you touch turns to gold. Um, you're absolutely irresistible. You're successful. Money is in love with you. You know you're always in the right place at the right time. All of these things imply that you are this elite self concept and that everything is magnetically drawn to you. You don't have to like. You don't have to be like. You don't have to be like. Okay, I need to try and focus on this area. Like when you are general about your self concept, that's when all of these things start magnetizing to you. If you start creating the ultimate self concept by saying the greatest things about yourself, I'm the fucking man, nobody does it like me, etc., everything just starts magnetizing to you, right? Zoro, for now, I know that everything is win. If something happens in favor, I won. And if I don't, I won because my 3D is bitch. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Kurti Sharma, because you are now on pedestal, and when the desire arises, you just snap your finger in order the reality to bend in favor of you. Correct. All you have to do is remember the power that you have. You have to remember that you are the one doing all of this. You're the one doing all of this at the end of the day. And if you can kind of like keep that in the back of your mind as you go throughout your day, whenever you encounter anything, like even something as small as like walking by the mirror and you immediately focus on that one part of yourself that you're insecure about. Usually that thought would come up and be like, "Oh, I need to change this. I don't feel confident about this." Nope, change it to, "I'm perfectly beautiful. Damn, I have the greatest smile of all time. Damn, I'm fucking snatched. I mean, my ass is fat." Whatever it is, you know what I mean? Just change the thought into your favor. But again, we're not going to put it on a pedestal and focus on it and be like, "My ass is so fat. My ass is so fat. My ass is so fat." No, we're just gonna address it, and then we're gonna go back to our self-concept and be like, "I have my ideal body. Everything is perfect. I'm the most perfect self-concept, most elite self-concept that has ever possibly existed." Jarez, I use your technique and always see myself as married to my SP, and I always speak to myself as the married spouse on my honeymoons. I have shifted my self-concept. I know it's already done. Perfect. Cut and dried textbook right there. That is beautiful. Okay, Zorro, really, I don't need my desires in 3D. I'm good with or without. No, I don't care about my 3D. That's it right there. When you don't need it to reflect in the 3D, that's when it reflects. This shit is such a paradox, but when you know that you have it within, you don't need it to reflect again in the 3D. But when that happens, that's when it reflects in the 3D. It's very paradoxical. It can be annoying, but um, there's no waiting whatsoever. And girlfriend, I still feel a sense of waiting of its unfold. Right. What I was just saying. So if you can understand how reality works and that the internal is the true story, if you can fulfill yourself so much within with however you do it, whether it's a technique, whether it's deciding, understanding how the law works, whether it's affirming, whether it's scripting, whatever, there is no waiting. If you had this thing in your possession right now, there would be no waiting. You have it right now. It doesn't make sense to have something and then wait for it to come. You have it right now. So continue to fulfill yourself within, understand how reality works, and claim it right now. Be the person who has it. I put out a video. It was like one of my first few videos. There was a technique, and I think it's pretty powerful. Um, really quick. You close your eyes really quick, and you kind of imagine yourself right now as the person you are right now in this reality, and you kind of observe how they are, how their mannerisms are, and then you scrub the screen away, and you bring up the identity or the version of yourself who had everything you've ever wanted. However that image comes up, and you just hold it there for a second, and you just observe their mannerisms, and, you just kinda see how they are, and then you scrub the screen, and then you bring up both identities side by side, and you kinda compare and contrast the 2. Notice the differences in these 2 identities. Usually, what you will notice is a difference in their behavior and body language. The one who has everything that they've ever wanted will usually be more enthusiastic, more smiley, um, loving life, being more present. And all you have to do is mimic that version to a T because that version of you exists right here and right now. Parallel realities is a very real thing. Infinite realities, infinite versions of you is a very real thing. All it takes is you selecting it within consciousness. So select the version of yourself on a moment to moment to moment to moment basis that you would like to be. And then reality, eh, um, the external reality will bend to you. This is just the old story dying out. Don't look at the 3D as the truth of the validation. It is truly the old story dying away. So let it die away. The only way it doesn't die away is if you pin it with your awareness and you go, oh shit, this shouldn't be happening. I was affirming, I was doing my technique. And then you hold it there. And then it goes, okay, then that's true. Then let's recreate it. Let's keep molding it to that. Girlfriend, that's where you have to remind yourself that you already have it. Correct. Zorro, if I can imagine and have it now, why the fuck I need outside with the knowing it's an illusion? Zorro, you're the fucking man. You get it. Victoria, my ass is so fat I'm snatched. Exactly. Exactly. I know we all want that fat ass, right? All right, Pretty Shama, spot on Zorro. Yes. Okay. Dion, to refresh your memory about me, I was confused with so many affirmations in the morning, like I had to fix something to manifest my desires, so I made a list to manifest multiple things. Yep. Oh, yeah, I remember you. That's right, my friend. Okay. I'm assuming that you understand it now. I don't know how many videos of mine you've watched, but I'm assuming you understand it. Ditch the fix, Dion. Exactly. There's nothing to fix. Everything is perfect right now. There's only a fix unless if you say so. If you say there's a process, if you say there's something to fix, then there's something to fix. Reality will reflect that to you perfectly. Kurti Sharma, Dion, your old identity is fighting and giving you doubts so that you give up. Yes, of course. I think that'll be my next video is like the weapons of the old identity. There's either negative experiences happening, things that are opposing you, or the second weapon is usually nothing happening. Your reality will show nothing budging, and you'll start to dive into the energy of, oh shit, what am I doing wrong? Nothing's happening, nothing's wiggling. Boom. You're back in the identity that nothing is happening, that nothing is wiggling, and your old identity has won in a sense once again. So understanding that the 3D reality is doing everything that it can to draw you back into the old reality, and all you have to do is look at it with indifference, just laugh at it like it's literally the old story. Ashabat, tidbit for the Tyler Army. When awakened from the dream, i.e., illusion from reality, the dream ends. A, the dream ends. B, you slip into the next dream. We are collective consciousness having a human experience, i.e., all that is. Correct. That is correct. 100%. Consciousness is everything. When you can identify yourself as a divine being having a human experience, that's when it makes all the difference. You are not a human. You are a human. You are a divine being playing a human role. You are just a bag of skin, but that what encompasses this entire being is all that is consciousness, is spirit, however you want to look at it, whatever your religious backgrounds are. You are connected to any and everything in your reality. So whenever, with like your SP or something, whatever you think that your SP is thinking, they're thinking right now. However you think about yourself, your SP thinks about you. However you describe your SP internally, they have to reflect it that way. Make sense? It's all connected. There's no separation. This 3D reality gives the illusion of separation with space and time, but it is all connected at the very essence of it. Whenever we take away the body, whenever we take away space and time, it is all connected by one mind, by God, by all that is, by source, by the creator, whatever you want to call it. You don't even have to lift your finger, not even affirmation is a technique, just a simple knowing works. Yeah, absolutely. That's right. In the very beginning, whenever you're starting out with this stuff, I understand if techniques help you get into the state, that's completely fine. But you have to understand that techniques are not what is making this happen. Your affirmation is not what is making this happen. It is you giving the power to this affirmation, thinking that this is what's making it happen. So if you can strip all that away, all you have to do is turn it to self and put all of your confidence into self. And that's the path of least resistance for me. I like doing shit the easy way. I don't like doing processes. I don't like, oh, I missed my meditation today. That means I'm not going to get my desire. Like, you don't need that. You really don't. All you have to do is be the person who has it and remain that way. And whenever anything opposes it in 3D, just be like, nope, that has nothing to do with me. Nope, that has nothing to do with me. And just remain the same. Just remain the same. Describe, perceive everything internally and externally as unfolding for you. Everything is perfect. You have everything you've ever wanted. Zoro, yesterday my older brother tried to convince me that what I'm talking is trash, and I was fucking laughing in my mind like, why a lion should listen to sheep's advice. Love my brother very much, by the way. Yeah, dude. So the old identity will try and speak through the people who are closest to you because it knows that your family and your friends can emotionally react to you, emotionally stir you better than anybody else. So um, you're doing it perfectly correct. Again, with the movie like not giving the end away, your brother right now thinks that the middle is looks so bad and treacherous and we're going through hills and valleys and everything, but you're remaining in your end. So you're not giving the movie away. That's perfect, right? They'll all understand soon. Zoro, I don't look down on. No, no, no. Yeah. I know you don't look down on him. Same thing with my family. I've told them very things that seemed outlandish. Love my family very much. But all the while in the middle, they're telling me, you're being delusional. You should really become realistic. You should, maybe you should accept the fact of possible failure in your mind. And I just laughed at them. I didn't laugh in their face, but internally I was like, you have no idea. You got no idea. And in the 3D, I was like, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. And then things unfolded. And I didn't go, "Look, I told you so." It was just a quiet confidence of like, "Now you understand. Now you get it." Right? I do that for everything in my reality. If something appears to be completely treacherous, I still say it's perfect. I still say this is working out perfectly. I still say everything is fine. And people will still be like, "Oh, well, what do you say about, this looks terrible. What how can you say that?" and all of that. Everything's perfect. You just don't understand how the law is, and that's kind of like the price you pay with becoming aware to all of this. Like, 99% of the population don't understand how this truly works. People take the 3D as final, and, rightfully so. We've been trained and conditioned our entire lives to take the 3D as final, but the 3D is fluid, it's not solid, it's fluid, it wiggles, it changes on a moment-to-moment basis. There are infinite realities that we hop and skip to billions of times per day. I don't know if you guys watch Bashar, but he says, um, infinite realities are basically like still frame photos. And so this is a reality. 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 All of that. I just shifted through many, many parallel realities. And so when you can select a version of you that is consistent through all of these parallel realities, that's when your reality starts to reflect it to you. Zero, am I saying my brother explained through atoms? That's its scam. Yeah. Girlfriend, the old identity has dragged me many years whenever I try to shift. I don't want to let that win this time. Stop becoming aware that your old identity has dragged you through many years whenever you try to shift. Start saying that you shift through you can shift on a dime. You know exactly how this shit works. You're a master at manifesting, right? Because you are. You've been manifesting your entire life, but you just haven't been aware to it. You've selected things over and over. I expect it to go this way. This person will probably show up this way. This is probably going to go this way. And then it does. And then you go, look, what do you know? I told you. And then it recreates and you select it again. This is probably going to go this way. All you're doing is remembering something that doesn't exist right now, but you're putting full faith into it. So all you need to do is predict something or remember something in your favor. Because again, your mind doesn't know the difference between what you experience externally and what you experience internally. So, like, your mind is basically blind to all of this. It's whatever you feed it. You feel anxious and you go, "Oh, this is bad. That means I'm doing something wrong." And your mind goes, "Okay, let's give you more of that then." So you can feel this emotion or you can experience your identity dragging you and be like, nope, everything's perfect. I know exactly how to shift. I have everything I've ever wanted. I've already won. All I fucking do is win. And your mind goes, all right, well, let's just give you that then. If you can select that type of narrative over and over, that's what you'll experience. That's the identity you will become. Let's see, Astrobot. Zoro, remember you are subconsciously creating all the time. Now you are doing it consciously. So your is just mirroring your subconscious. So knowing who you are being is always reveal the old man. Yep. Yep, absolutely. I mean, like the subconscious mind and like frequencies and vibrations and everything is like cool, but like that's just a way of like kind of slicing the onion into smaller pieces. Like a lot of people get very confused of being like, I don't know if I'm vibrating at the right frequency. I don't know if I'm feeling the right emotions. Really, all you have to do is claim the new identity that you are, and all of these things are just like tacked on. All of these emotions of the new identity, this new frequency is added on. You don't need to focus on the extremities of the identity. All you need to focus on is who you're being. Theon Tyler, I love this chat. I love seeing you and other people giving great advice to help others. Yeah, man, we got the greatest community of all time. Best channel on YouTube. Kurti Sharma. Yeah, Dion, everyone is speaking fucking beautiful things. Exactly. Of course. Why shouldn't they? Yes. Yes, Kurti Sharma is really simplified. The advice and love here is great. Hey, Ryan Reinagel. That's my little brother. Everybody say hi, Ryan. Love you, my brother. Zorro. See, we all here talking about our perceptions of 3D. And if you notice, no one is opposing what we are talking here. Hence, proved where attention goes, energy flows. We are just our reflections. That's correct. That's absolutely right. Dion Tyler, my mom is doing a manifestation list like I am for ourselves and our family. We read it almost every morning. But what can you suggest for her hair cause? Because when she combs it, it comes out in patches. So again, understanding that the 3D is the old reality. Whenever if she can go internally and see herself with a full head of hair and start identifying with that internally, no matter what she sees in the external reality, that should be looked at as the old story. Let me reread your question real quick. For her hair cause, yeah. Yeah. If she can understand how reality works, that the true reality comes from within, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, right? The kingdom of God is within. Then she can select the version of herself who has a full head of hair, that it is just luscious and flowing, and she has so much fucking hair. Whenever she is, in the mirror or combing her hair, she can still claim that new story in the face of the old, no matter if hair is coming out, no matter if, she looks in the mirror and it looks like there's a little bit of hair missing. If she can look at that as the old story and the illusion, then that's when things begin to shift. You have to identify internally with this new story. Whatever you see externally is what you have selected over and over. So just look at this with indifference. Still, she should still say that she is perfect and she has the ideal head of hair that she's ever wanted, even though anything in the 3D might oppose that. And reality will have to bend to her. It just absolutely will. That's how this works. And it's not, a head of hair and a cup of coffee is less or more important. Everything to God is neutral. There is no less or more important. Everything to God is possible. There's not something that's more difficult or less difficult. All you have to do is show the image to God and show that you have full faith in it, and that's what will be spat out and reflected to you. Yeah. Zoro, if something bad happens, don't say "F it," please. You say "F it," then indirectly you're giving it power. Exactly. Ryan, I love you, bro. Yeah, Ryan's a real one, everybody. He's a real one. Yeah, it's all your awareness. You know, it's whatever you're shining your light on. If you're shining your light on the problem, then you will get more of the problem. If you're shining your light on the solution, on perfection, you will get more of the perfection. The issue is that people shine their light on the solution, but then have the problem in their face, and then they give truth to it and they go, "Oh shit, that's probably true." And then they're shining their light on the problem and they get more of that, right? Kurti Sharma. Dion, I have a friend who has had this problem of hair fall. He started ignoring the CD, stopped looking at the comb, started the hair fall, and jumped to identity that he has voluminous hair. What a great word. And it stopped. Yeah. Yeah. It's whatever you're shining your awareness on. Are you shining your light on voluminous hair or hair loss? Zorro. And I recommend to practice negative gratitude. Like, tell if you aren't here, I would not have my desired reality if something negative circumstance pops up. Yep. How do you say that name? Loon Tella Loon. When I see myself from the perspective of a spiritual being having an incarnation, I lose all desire to manifest anymore. Also, what do you think of revision? Yeah, that first part is great because you understand that you are connected to all that is. So there's no reason to want anything anymore. Um, what is the Bible verse? The Lord is my shepherd, thou shalt not want. That means you have everything already. There's nothing external or separate from you. You have everything that you could ever want. It's all coming from you. All you're doing is experiencing a different aspect of yourself. So, second part, also, what do you think of revision? Revision works if you want to do that. I mean, the other day I got flipped off in traffic, and quickly for 3 seconds I went internally and I saw that person giving me a peace sign instead of the middle finger. You know, and that was the true reality because they're infinite realities, and the reality that I selected was the one where he threw me a peace sign, not the one where he flipped me off. And I went on my day and I thought of him again and I was like, man, that guy was so pleasant. He was so peaceful. What a nice guy. And that was my reality. It goes that way with anything. Hey, Ryan. I am eating the right foods to nourish my volume in his hair. I have no stress, no fallout. I have so much hair. My luscious locks are perfect. Astrobot gets it, everybody. Astrobot gets it. That's exactly it. It's the way you speak to yourself. It's the way that you um, define everything in your reality. If you can understand that this external reality is the old story, cannot validate your new story, then what are you looking at? There's nothing to look at. Even if it looks the worst of the worst of the worst. It's almost like if you wanted to learn science, you wanted to learn science, the subject of science, and then you picked up a history book and you were like, why am I not learning any science in here? Why am I not learning about physics and all of that shit? You're looking at the wrong book. It's the same way with the 3D reality. You're looking at the wrong story. You selected a new story within of greatness and pure perfection and having your shit and being the highest self concept. But then you looked at the old story you've selected over and over of being shit and not being chosen and sucking and hating your life. You're looking in the wrong place. Look within, forget about this old book that's out there, and it will wither away. It's just the script playing out. It's just the story playing out. Let it play out. The only way that you don't let it play out is when you look at it and you go, huh, that's true. Oh shit. that's my I hope that's not true. Like, this shouldn't be happening. Then you stick it, and then you have your awareness on that. If you can look at this and just be like, "No, that has nothing to do with me anymore. I know the true reality. I know my old story. I know my new story." Then it withers away. Then your 3D starts bending to you. And then whenever it finally unfolds in the 3D, then you can be like, "Yep, that's true about me." But until then, like, don't even don't even take the 3D as validation. Again, of course, play by the 3D rules, play by, having to speak and interact with people and stuff. But again, don't give away the end of the movie. You know the end of the movie that you've seen 1,000 times, but you're showing the movie to this one person that has never seen it. And they're going through all of these obstacles and all of these hills and valleys that the character is going through. And oh, it looks so bad. How are we going to get out of this? But somehow, some way, it ends up perfect in the end. You know the end, you know it works out. Don't give away the middle of the story. Don't give the movie away. You wouldn't spoil a movie for somebody, right? So don't emotionally react. Don't try and defend yourself and become defensive when somebody shows you the opposite. Just be like, okay, yeah, yeah, but identify with the reality within. That's all you got to do. Awareness defies logic. Yes, there is zero logic to this. Do not bring your logical mind to this. Your logical mind will try and figure out how this can happen or needs a reason. And it's going to doubt and be like, well, this circumstance is in the way. And how is it possibly going to happen? Your logical mind has zero idea how this is going to happen. This is up to God. This is up to the higher mind. This is up to all that is to bring it to you. All you have to do as an awareness is be the person right now who has it, and it all unfolds to you. Whatever it is, whether it's in your self concept, whether it's in your love life, whether your money situation, you wanting to be fucking jacked and ripped at the gym, you wanting the perfect career, you wanting the a business that is booming, you wanting a cup of coffee, you wanting the best dinner ever, like anything. It's all just going to the end and expecting it to go that way because you are the person who receives that thing. You are the person who it is normal to experience that thing. Cody Sharma, everything is possible here, and consciousness create everything. Correct. Creation is finished. Select which one you want. Milky Ways, how to truly believe the being. Since I have been in this 3D of blackness for a long time, I have never experienced that feeling of feeling. How could I understand that feeling? Yeah, it's understanding again how reality works. So if you have chosen lack for a long time, then your 3D reality is going to reflect that. Your 3D reality is the old story that has zero life unless you breathe life into it. And the way you breathe life into something is placing your awareness on it and saying that is true, giving truth to it. So if you understand how manifestation works as within, so without. Whatever you see in consciousness, whatever you define in consciousness, will be reflected externally in the 3D. So if you can take your validation and your truth away from the 3D and start identifying with a new story, one of abundance, one of success, one of just completely winning in all aspects of life, no matter what your lack 3D shows, then you will start to experience that. And again, feelings do not necessarily matter whenever you are manifesting. I will say, yes, feelings and emotions can amplify a manifestation process. I guess there's no process, but like as far as like the reflection in the 3D, you feeling it could amplify it, but it's more of a destruction to focus on that because people will become in the sense of like, I'm not feeling it correctly. I must be doing something wrong. There's so much more destruction than benefit coming from that. So I always say that feelings are completely neutral. They have no built-in meaning, just like your entire reality. Everything in reality has zero built-in meaning until you come along and give a meaning to it. So if you can feel those feelings of lack or whatever you have selected and know your internal story that you have chosen anew of winning, of abundance, and you can look at those feelings of lack and be like, that has nothing to do with me anymore. Again, earlier I gave the example of if my name is Tyler and somebody came up and called me John, that wouldn't emotionally stir me. I wouldn't become defensive and be like, "No, my name's Tyler." Like, no, I would just look at it with indifference. No, my name's Tyler. You have it wrong. That's how you have to look at these emotions that are trying to oppose your new story. No, that has nothing to do with me anymore. Sit down. You got the wrong person and keep it moving. And it might come back again. No, you got the wrong person. Sorry. This is how it is. This is the way it is. Abundance, winning, success. Right? Makes sense? Dion, Tyler and Astro, I minded the video and comments. She said, thank you to all of you. Thank you to you, my friend. Kurti Sharma, just like I'm feeling shitty, but I still have millions and SPs madly in love with me. Exactly. Exactly right. You can feel however you want. That doesn't take away from who you are and what you have, unless you say so. Victoria with the flames. Zorro, I changed my grades to A from D after the results was given. Everything is fucking possible. Dude, I'm telling you. This shit is simple, man. Shit is simple. There is only now, right? Let me just explain to you guys real quick. There is only the now moment. When you think of something, when you predict something, future, past, that is only an illusion that humans have created. Your birth, the day that you die, every birthday that you've had, every anniversary, every single celebration, every day of the week you have ever had is right here and right now. Whenever you wonder what time it is, it's always right now. It's never then o'clock or back then o'clock. It's always now. So, whatever you experience internally or externally, you are bringing into the now, and reality thinks this is who this person is right now. Let's bend to him. Let's bend to her. So, give yourself the greatest version of yourself in the now at every single moment. Whenever you remember something, remember it perfectly. Whenever you predict something, predict it perfectly. You have no proof or evidence anyway, right? We've given ourselves so much negativity with zero proof or evidence, and we had so much faith in it, and it manifested, it reflected to us. So give yourself the greatest story, the most optimistic story of all time, with zero proof or evidence, and it'll reflect to you. It's very simple. It is very simple. So that is awesome. Lucky Ways, I'm so grateful for your channel. I'm starting from scratch from your vids. Your vid popped out of nowhere when I was figuring out hard situations. And lots of love from Thailand. Hey, Thailand. That's my next destination, by the way. I think I'm trying to go there by the end of the year. Thank you for being here, my friend. Dion Tyler. Tyler, if I may ask, what is your manifestation routine when you wake up and go to bed? I don't really have a manifestation routine. I have been doing like a visualization by Joe Dispenza for probably 4 years. Every single day, I wake up and I do the tuning in with new potentials visualization every single day. It's about 52 minutes long. It's freaking awesome. I don't do it to get something though. That's the difference. I don't do it to be like, I got to do this to make sure I'm this person or to make sure I have this desire. I do it because it feels good and I just remind myself of who I am every single morning. And then whenever I am done with that, I am getting ready for the day, just hyping myself up, continuously hyping myself up. I'm the greatest to ever do it. Nobody does it like me. This is the greatest day of my life. Everything is in my favor. Everything's unfolding perfectly. And then before I walk out of my door, this one's from Eric, by the way. Today's the greatest day of my life, right before I open the door. And then I go about my day. And whenever, I become aware to what I'm thinking, I just start hyping myself up again. And if I have anything in my reality that I want, then I go, I'm so grateful that I have this thing. This thing is obsessed with me. This thing looks at me this way about money. Man, I have so much freaking money. I have so much fucking money. It's not even funny. I open my bank account. I see a certain amount that it would appear that I don't like it this way. Damn, I see a different value in my mind. I just identify so heavily with the internal reality that it's just like whatever you say goes, whatever you see internally goes. And then, um, you know, that's pretty much it. I don't do like set aside techniques, like as far as like sats or scripting or anything like that, like I used to. And it kind of helped in the beginning just to kind of get me into the state. But my confusion was I'm doing these things and these things are little magical practices that are making this happen. No, it's you put giving the power to it. So I was like, oh shit, well, I can just decide. I can just decide that it's that way now then. All right, Joe, how do you go about navigating doubts if you haven't materialized your desires despite knowing about manifestation for years? Should I focus more on the 4D? Yes, you absolutely should. You should understand that the 4D is the true reality. If you have doubts in your reality, that is, again, the old identity trying to throw curveballs at you and trying to hook you back into the old story. If you can look at those in that sense, then you can look at this thing with indifference. You can look at this with, you know, no emotion whatsoever. There's going to be doubts and these anxious feelings of the old identity. That is literally the old story trying to creep up and tap you on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, it's actually this way. You remember it this way?" If you can be like, "No, it's this way now. This is who we are now." There's no checking. There's no how long is it going to take. That all implies that you are not the person who doesn't have it yet, right? So, yes, heavily identify with the 4D, with the internal reality. No, just know that that is where it is all coming from. It truly is. Whenever we start giving validation to the 3D, we're giving validation to the old story. And then once we do that, we have our awareness on it, we have our faith and trust in it, and then it just recreates once again. And then we go, oh shit, manifestation doesn't work. What do you know? It's the faith in the unseen that brings about this shit. God speaks, what is it? God speaks of things that are unseen as though they were seen. It's exactly the way that you need to do it. Yes, the big thing is I wrote just questions on my bio paper. There you go. Shauna, do you recommend a certain amount of times a day we should go within and give ourselves a desired end, like for an SP? I mean, no, not really. Not a no, there's not a certain amount of time. Whenever your SP comes to mind. If your SP comes to mind 100 times in an hour, remind yourself of the truth 100 times in an hour. But I wouldn't, set aside time to go within and, you know, be like, I have to schedule aside time to go within to visualize for my SP. Like if you want to go in and experience the true reality because you enjoy it, not because you're trying to make something happen, then go for it. Go for it. Go in and visualize a scene, visualize them or hear them telling you something that you want to hear, and that's enough. You don't have to do this like drawn out process. You can or you can just simply know that they are absolutely in love with you because there is a version of them that exists right here and right now who views you that way. See, we are not drawing our SP in to love us more. We are materializing the version of ourselves who our SP views that way already. That makes sense? If you were the most magnetic, most irresistible, most attractive, most alluring, most confident, most just perfect version of yourself ever, and whenever you think of your SP, they were the most ideal, most loving, most caring, most whatever, just most ideal version of themselves. You are materializing your version of yourself that is experiencing your SP in that way. That's all you have to do. You don't have to, set aside time and everything. You can if you'd like, if you want to experience the reality where that is true. But if you're setting aside time to try and make something happen, then that's incorrect. That means you don't that you're implying that you don't have them. Sorry, I wish we could connect personally. Actually, I'm from India. My real name is Arindam. I'm from New Delhi. Next best technique, bro. Shout out to Eric, man. That dude's a real one. Got that humor, Zorro from Assam. How old are you? 18. Since July, bro. Yo, y'all are great, man. Y'all are great. Thank y'all for the super chats. I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, if y'all know Eric, y'all should know this shit by now. Dion Tyler, great tip. Don't do something to make something happen to get it, but do it as you enjoy it. Yes, do it as the version of yourself who already has it. Victoria, that way we can all connect safely and get to know each other. Wait, did I miss something? Okay. Lunet la lune. Oh. Lunet la lune. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know if I am. Do you ever manifest signs that your manifestation on the way? What do you think of birds before land? I mean, again, like if you have something, if you're supposed to be in your end of having something and you notice birds before land and you're like, something's happening, you're now in the version of yourself who something is happening. Yes, Zorro, BBL, and signs are kind of BS. I mean, it's okay to be like understanding that things are unfolding, but you still have to identify with the internal reality. If you start looking externally and being like, "Look, something's happening. Oh my goodness, this is finally happening." Now you're in the identity and the reality where something is happening and now you don't have it. You're in the identity of something is happening. There's a process happening. There's movement happening. So if you want your end of married to your SP or in a relationship or having an abundance of money, but then you start seeing a few checks come in the mail or you start seeing your SP text you a little bit, you can look at that as like, yep, it's all unfolding perfectly, but I know who we are. I know that we're perfectly matched. We're in a loving relationship. So you can look at BBL as like, I don't know. I wouldn't give any validation to it. I mean, it's small proof that what you were doing is working, but it's nothing to give any validation to. It really isn't. The true validation is within. Victoria, I don't know what happened to my first comment, but I was saying maybe you should make a Facebook community. It's too much work. People are telling me to make like a TikTok and Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? That's too much work. Like, I don't need to do all that stuff. I have so many people around me actually being like, you should make, you know, shorts and Instagram clips to expose yourself more. And I'm like, I'm showing on this channel that you can be the person that you say you are and not need to force anything in the 3D and it will just unfold to you. If I were trying to post the same clip on 5 different social medias and run promotions and run ads and everything, that's me trying to make something happen in the 3D to get to where I want to be internally. And who I am internally, I am a full-time YouTuber. I have 100,000 subscribers. Everybody wants to work with me. I have the fucking secret sauce, all of that. And all I need is YouTube. That's it. I don't need anything else. I don't need to, promote myself anywhere. I'm going to take the path of least resistance and shit is easy, Zora, I appreciate you, my man. You understand it. I can tell. Oh. What else? Did anybody watch the football game tonight? Do y'all watch football? That's why I was a little late on the live stream. Zorro. Yeah, everybody says I sound like Eric, and I mean, I understand that because, like, he was the one that really made it click for me. So, a lot of the language that I say kinda comes from him. But, I mean, maybe that just means I understand it, you know? Yeah, everybody got a little Eric in them, that's right. Yeah, Eric's the man, that's my homie. We talk quite a bit. He's everywhere, yes. Hi, hello. The whiskey, dude, I can't. Pelly Vlogs. Hi, hello, how are you doing? We're all just chilling in here, having a nice little Saturday evening. Well, I guess it's Sunday now. Um, everyone's from like India though, like overseas and all over the world. It's 12:15 a.m. for me. It is now Sunday. Yeah, you watched the game? Dude, crazy. I had money on the Bears. So that's why I was a little bit late to the live stream. I was down there biting my fingernails. But also knowing that the Bears were gonna pull it off. I was like, the Bears already won. They already won. What was it, plus 3.5? I was like, I got it. I already got it. Lynette, please don't look for signs. Looking for signs is like looking for the phone to ring. It's a trap. You'll be constantly dependent and looking for signs. See, you already have it. Yes, correct. Man, this is the greatest community of all time. This is the first live stream, too. First live stream. Love all you guys. Appreciate y'all. Where's everyone from? I want to know. I got some India and Canada so far. It seems like I have Michigan. Okay, there's a US person. So I was going to say, it seems like I get a lot of engagement from like late night things. Nevada, here we go. My SP is engaged to be married, so how do I manifest my marriage with him? Take your awareness and focus off of the version that you are experiencing currently in your 3D reality. There is a version that exists that is married to you. So if you put your focus and attention internally on the version of him that is married to you, that would imply that he is not engaged to be married to somebody else. All you have to do is disregard this version that you are experiencing in the 3D. However, it takes for you to go within and give yourself the state of being married to this person is how you do it. If you need a technique, if you're able to, excuse me, if you're able to decide, that's fine. But it is truly understanding how this game works. The internal reality is the true reality. Period. At the end of the day, that is it. The 3D is what you have selected over and over. You may have been the self concept who has expected him to become married to somebody else, to not choose you, for you to be second best, blah, blah, blah. All you have to do is focus on your self concept. And whenever he comes to mind, describe him perfectly in the way that you would like to experience him. And that's it. Michigan, India, Nevada, Tacoma, Washington. I went to Washington a few years ago. Freaking loved it. Love the Pacific Northwest. India. Dang. Originally from Miami, now I live in Vegas. Nice. My aunt lives in Vegas. Thailand, yes. 1:17 p.m. Wow. Zorro, Tyler, why for some people things doesn't click even if they're so smart? Because it doesn't take smarts. It's not intelligence that comes down to this. Intelligence is the logical brain, how to reason, how to figure things out, how to pattern recognize, um, how to solve for problems. And with manifestation, this is a completely new concept that most of us have never been brought up with before. Um, it is very much believing in something that you can't currently experience with your five senses. And that's it. And so many people understand that logically, but then when they're thrown into the field and it's happening in real time, they don't see anything happening or they see something opposing their story and they're like, well, how is this going to happen? Because this circumstance is here and this person said this. They don't ever want to see me again. And this person is getting married. How is this possibly going to happen? And they bring the logical mind into it. And it's truly a letting go and a faith practice of just understanding how this works, understanding that God supplies all your needs and you are always supplied for, and everything always works out in your favor if you say so. People can be smart, people can be book smart, people can be intelligent, but that's all the logical brain. The right side of the brain is creativity, imagination, seated at the right hand of the Father. Cast your net to the right, they catch all the fish, all of that. There's no logic to this. So if you can get with the notion that most of reality is what you cannot see. Yes. Most of reality is what you cannot see. What we perceive with our five senses is like a decimal fraction of what actually reality is. Everything and anything that exists right here and right now, and it's mostly invisible. It's potential energy until you collapse your awareness onto it. Jarez, Baltimore, Maryland. Hell yeah. Bloody. Do you dream of your manifestations often, or is it not that important? Not really. I mean, I honestly have pretty weird dreams. Um, Sometimes I do, I guess, but it's not that important. No, it's, whatever you give truth to and whatever you give value to. You can give any meaning to your dreams that you want to, and it will mean that for you. Thank you so much, sir. No problem, my friend. Zorro, my favorite from the Gospel of John. My favorite as well, 821. Correct. Yes, Kurti Sharma. I'm going away, and you will look for me. You will die in your sin. Where I go, you cannot come. Yes, correct. Yeah, Scripture's got it all. Scripture's got it all. The Spirit of God lives within you. Do you not realize Jesus Christ is within you? The kingdom of God is within you. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It's all there. It really is all there. My Father's house has many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. That means that there are infinite possibilities for you to choose from. What's the end of that scripture? I go to prepare a place for you. So it's all trusting in Christ. Christ represents the right side of the brain, your awareness, what you are aware of. If you can trust in that versus the logical brain who needs a reason, who needs doubt, or who needs a proof or evidence to see it, if you can abandon that and if you can trust and heavily identify with what you see internally, that's when you win. It's really simple when you get down to it. And a lot of people really can't accept that because it seems too easy. And then they're like, okay, I've done this. Now what do I do? What's next? Because they're still waiting on that thing to show up and you still don't understand. You're not being the person. If you were the person who had it, you wouldn't say, what's next? I have my phone. What's next to get my phone? Right? You would just be like, oh, I'm going to go have a drink with my friends. I'm going to go out and live life. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go eat something. Like, be present. Whenever you thought of your phone, you would be like, yep, I have my phone. Cool phone. That's about it. It's very simple, guys. But bouncing around from coach to coach is what confuses you because every single coach is correct. It's you giving the power to that technique. If you think that you need to affirm a bunch of times, if you think that, this technique works for you or this affirmation works for you, then you're correct. But it's this coach said this, and this coach said this, and this coach said this, and this coach said this. I don't know what the right one is. Then you will get reflected that you don't know what the right one is. And your reality will reflect that perfectly. Church, Eric and Tyler. Amen. Amen. What's the other scripture that says God is not found in temples created by human hands or something like that? That's why, I heavily believe in God and that Christ is within and always with us, but I don't resonate with going to a place to worship something, a being externally. I don't believe that's what Christ's message was all along. Christ was trying to create leaders. He wasn't trying to create followers. He was trying to show you that you have the same exact power within that he does. But, you know, religion has, I want to piss anyone off. Things have been twisted for political power and certain gain throughout the entire years of Christ's existence. to make you seem to make you feel like you need something externally to save you when Christ was actually trying to show you that you have it all within and that you can do the same exact things that he is doing. He was just trying to show you the way when he says, I am the way, I am the truth. He didn't say, bow down and worship to me. It was, be exactly like me. I am the pure example of how one should live and how to connect to this power and utilize this power within. A lot of people read the Bible, but don't apply it. But it's very like in your face. Like if you can read it, not so much as like a history book, but more so as, kind of like Eric says, like an instruction manual, like how to conduct one's life. Also in scriptures, they have not told to beg and pray to God for something. Exactly. Mark 11:24. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe you have received it and it is yours. Not beg and plead to maybe have it be yours and maybe it'll be yours. But yet, so many people pray for things and they ask for it. Please make this happen. Please, 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 please. Could you please make it happen? Well, you're keeping it in the wanting phase. That's not somebody who has believed they have received it. It should go, thank you so much for making this happen. Thank you so much for XYZ that I have. It's being in the state of gratitude of having versus begging and pleading for something to happen. You'll keep it separate out there. Yeah, I really felt bad for them. Yeah, I feel the same way, but also at the same time, you can't force somebody's spiritual growth. It is a blessing that we have this amount of insight to something, and the people around us might not understand, and they might defend something that you kind of see past as far as an illusion goes. But we can't force a spiritual growth that might harm them more than it benefits them. You have to let them learn in their own time, even if it's not in this lifetime. Dion Tyler, that confused me back then. Like I had to affirm, I think 10,000 times or forced to convince my subconscious mind. Some people can affirm 10,000 times for 5 hours straight. I'm like, wow. Yeah. The thing with robotically affirming, because look, I used to be there. Like I really did. Having the counter and everything, being like, this person's in love with me, this person's in love with me, blah, blah, blah. The thing with robotically affirming is you might bring that person in, but if your self concept is somebody who is not chosen and who is always second best and is not loved, the moment you stop robotically affirming, your SP is going to leave once again because they will reflect your self concept and who you are. Christ said, greater things than me you shall do. My dad told me that when I was 8, and that religion is man made. You don't have to be religious to have faith in God. That is it right there. That is it. Cut and dry. It's the same thing as when like Christ was walking on water and then Peter started walking on water after him. And the only thing that made Peter fall into the water was him looking around at his 3D and being in disbelief and being like, basically like, oh shit, I can't believe I'm doing this. Straight into the water. So you have the same power, but it's you giving validation to the 3D. It's you thinking the 3D is the truth when Christ is actually represented as what you see internally, what you believe to be true internally. Fun and enjoy is everything, Dion. Kirti Sharma in the Bhagavad Gita. Also, Krishna said the same thing. See, I wanted to get into that as well. I know it's all the same. Christ consciousness, Buddha spirit, Buddha nature, Krishna spirit. It's all the same thing. Everybody is saying the same exact thing. Astro, when you feel bad for someone, you are feeling bad for yourself. When you thank someone, you are thanking yourself. So thank yourself more. Correct. Everyone is a mirror of you. Everyone is connected to you. So whenever anybody comes to mind, don't wish ill upon them. You're wishing ill upon yourself. If you're ever in traffic and somebody is just being erratic or, flipping you off like they did for me the other day, think of them in the best light. I like to look at them as like a child throwing a temper tantrum. You don't get angry at a child for throwing a temper tantrum. They don't know any better. So that's how I look at somebody in the 3D, somebody in traffic that is, you know, being ridiculous. Oh, poor, they just don't know enough. I wish them love. Instead of being like, "Oh, fuck you. Yeah, yeah, I take it personally." You're now down to their level. You know enough. You know the truth. So remain in the truth. Exercise unconditional love unto everybody and yourself because everybody is you. Krishna said, "Change is the law of wait." Krishna said, "Change is the law of world in one moment. You are on millions and other you are penniless. And also 3D is always changing." I love that. I need to dive more into Krishna. It's been popping up more in my reality, and I think that's a sign to just kind of delve more into that. Excuse me. It's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, thinking one religion is the correct way is the ultimate delusion, I believe, when um, everything is one. God is way too big to fit into one religion. Exactly. Religion made people fear, make people control you, but God always said, "I'm inside of you." Yes, yes, in so many ways. Man made equals self made. Then ask yourself, why did you create a thing? For knowing, faith, and belief? Yes, correct. Exactly. Usually from all three. It is who you are being all the way down to a T. It's what you say to be true, what you think, what you expect, what you define, what you perceive, how you behave, how you speak to people, what emotions you identify with, all the way down the line. That's who you are being. That is your identity. And you will just get that reflected perfectly through people, through circumstances, through situations, through opportunities, XYZ, all the way down the line. You'll get that reflected to you. That's all you can perceive. There can be a certain situation that happens, and one person can come along and view it completely positively, and another person can come along to that same situation and view it completely negatively. But it's the same situation. It's all down to the person who is perceiving that thing. So perceive things in the best way possible. There is no one cut, black and white, clear cut, dry answer to all of this. It is whatever you say to be true in your reality. In my reality, it's different, whatever I say to be true. But from your perspective, in your reality, you are the centerpiece. You're player one, and everyone has to prove you right. So why not tell the greatest story of all time? Oh, what time is it? 12:30. The esoteric chooses you. It's our identity to learn this law, or our destiny to learn this law. Yeah, you're right about self concept. I had a self concept that I was desired but not chosen and attracted situationships. Doesn't matter how attractive you are if you have a negative self concept. Correct. I know a lot of attractive people who can't get any time of day from the opposite sex. What do you think happens when we die? Um, I believe that I think we have a multitude of choices. I believe we have a choice to be able to reincarnate and have a second experience on this plane. I believe that we have the choice to graduate to the next dimension. Um, I believe that you can choose to be a guide of sorts to this construct of reality. At the very end of the day, you are a spiritual being. You are basically your astral body that your physical body encompasses. If you ever practice like astral projection, like I like to do that quite a bit, you will really see the vastness that reality is that we can't experience with our five senses. And you'll run into beings, you'll run into things that teach you a lot about what is going on. Um, religions confused me back then. I'm like, who made these different religions? Like it's a club or a group. I was like, St. Peter going to be like, oh, you're a Baptist, you can enter heaven. Yeah, exactly. Well, I have this belief that there's a certain group of people that run this physical plane, run this world. You can call them the elite or whatever, and they change the narrative to benefit themselves, to gain from it in a certain way. So, if the Bible and other religious texts are the most popular books ever written, I find it very hard to believe that the hands of the elite and the people that would like political power and certain gain have not had their hands on it to twist it in a certain way. Oh, this religion is correct. If you believe this religion, then you're going to hell or you're incorrect or whatever. Like that's a perfect way to separate, divide and conquer, right? Divide and conquer. That's how you take over a nation. So to get people to not realize or get people to think that everything is separate, then you have to play teams. This side is better than this side. It's the same thing with politics. It's the same thing with sports teams. This side is better than this side. And one day this side is going to overtake this side. No, it's not. Yin and yang. This side needs this side to exist. Zoro, I think there is no death in simulation. No, there is no death. There's only eternal life. Physical death, maybe. Physical death of the body. Astrobot, when you refer to people, you simply free will. There is no free will because the only will you are experiencing is the self, i.e., all that is. There cannot be others that are not pushed out. You are it. Yes, correct. You are all that is. That's it. I have nothing else to say about that. That was perfect. Everybody gone through robotic shit, but once you create the identity where you are the king, you start having the power where you feel like I just have to order once and the reality will bend. Yeah. Yeah. God don't ask twice for lighting. You get it. You get it, Curry. Victoria, I've heard of astral projection. I don't know much about it. I'll try anything, so I'll check it out. Yeah, I mean, it's really easy. There's, I mean, again, many ways that you can go about doing it. The way that I kind of started out doing it was like I would lay down in bed and just kind of let myself get relaxed a little bit. And then I would visualize myself getting up out of my bed and walking around my entire house, feeling the carpet underneath my feet, feeling my hand on the handrails, walking down the stairs, um, going into every room, just seeing it vividly. And then there's that moment where like, have you ever been like half asleep and then you like twitch real quick because you like hit the ground in your dream and you like snap to? That's what'll happen when you're doing this like visualization. You'll like hit that like whoa, like that little glitch or shift, and you'll basically be out of your body. Like you will then be truly there where you are imagining. And then from there, it's just like it's your playground. Do what you want to do. It's very, very fun. It's very fun, and it's like it shakes your whole reality and your whole belief of everything. Like you're like, oh shit, this is actually there's so much extra to this. Astro, when you were asleep, you are the dream, all of it. When you wake up, where are you? In another dream? One must be lucid, not so much awake as the dreams ends and begins again. Yeah, I mean, I believe that there's only waking up to dreams and being like, "Oh yeah, this is truly who I am. This is truly who I am. Oh, that felt like a dream. This is truly who I am." When we die, we wake up and we're going to perceive this life as, "Oh shit, that was a dream. This is truly who I am. This spiritual being." I dreamt about my ESP and I together today. Astro, based South Dakota. Okay, cool. South Dakota. I used to dream about my ESP often, but now I don't get them as much anymore. I mean, that's fine. Whenever you are the person who has your SP, I mean, I wouldn't say I dream about my girlfriend every single night, you know, but we're very much in love with each other. So it's not anything to worry about. Shayla, what's up? Hey, oh, got retracted. Type that again. Victoria, I really want to dream about my SP, but can I control what I dream about in general? I try so hard. Yeah, I mean, you can if you want. Like I know the way to dream about something is to think about it like an hour before you go to sleep and then like heavily repress it. So it'll kind of be tucked away in your subconscious. And then whenever you go to sleep was what you experience your subconscious. So then it'll be released. But dreaming or not dreaming about your SP is not a game changer whether you're going to experience them externally. Um, I would more so say visualizations are when you go internally and experience the true reality. That's that's the that's the magic right there. Astro Zoro, that's the higher self meeting itself in another shape of you. Your SP, that's the image you choose to represent the self. It means what meaning you give it. Yeah, exactly. Tyler's correct. That about regulating nervous system, like fast heartbeat of something you desire, you can't get it. No, only if you say so. I mean, you really don't need to regulate nervous system. Like you really don't need to. It's when you say, "Oh, my nervous system is out of whack." So that means that I'm not in alignment with my desire. That's when you snap into the version of yourself who is not in alignment with your desire. You can completely have an out of whack nervous system, but still know what you have and still claim who you are. That's completely fine. I mean, if you want to regulate your nervous system to make you feel better, then fine. But you can also say, I feel perfect right now, no matter what you feel. I feel perfect. I've always been perfect. I've always felt perfect. Everything is perfect. I also got where my SP is having difficulty expresses true feelings for me. He wants to say that, but he is resisting. But we all know he have to come. He has no free will but to come and express. Yeah, I would just say take your awareness off of that. Where he has take your awareness off of difficulty to express his true feelings and place your awareness on the version of him who is just spilling his guts to you all the time and just can't stop and tells you exactly how he feels about you. You know, it's all awareness. It's all what you have your awareness on. Do you have your awareness on bullshit or do you have it on success and abundance and love and just completely winning in all aspects of life? Again, nervous system is bullshit. Yeah, I mean, if you say so, you know, if you do it because you enjoy it, then that's fine. But if you do nervous system stuff because you feel like that's part of the process to get what you want, then yes, I agree. It is bullshit. You don't need it. You don't need it. You didn't regulate your nervous system when you were selecting negative things. You didn't do techniques when you were selecting negative things. You just selected it, let it go, went about your day. Whenever that thing came to mind, you were like, yeah, it's going to be bullshit. It's going to suck. It's negative. And then you just kept going, you know? But a lot of people like doing breath work and all that stuff because it feels good. Again, I do that visualization by Joe Dispenza every single morning because I enjoy it, because it feels good. It reminds me who I am. Do I have Insta? Yeah, I have Insta. Should I drop it? Yeah, I got Insta. Here, I'll type it right here. I don't give a shit. Here it is. Oh, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, that's what I am on Eric's live stream. He made me a moderator not too long ago, and it's Indigo Jones. Not many people know that. So, yeah. Hey, what's up, B? Hi, I recognize you from the comments. How are you doing? There's Victoria. I'll give you a follow back. Can you explain how to win the lottery? Yeah, just be the person who already won the lottery. I would say if you're trying to play the lottery to make something happen, you got retracted. It's okay. I remember your question. Be the person who already won the lottery. Whenever you think of the lottery, whenever you think of your money situation, yeah, I fucking won the lottery. I have so much money, I don't even know what to do with. Place your awareness on already having won the lottery. Your end is to win the lottery. Go to the end of winning the lottery. I could be doing better, but I have to go to work real soon. Well, it's the greatest day of your entire life because you say so. And you're doing perfect right now. Not I could be doing better. You're doing perfect. When did you realize that you can really manifest? What's the date today? January 11th. Probably like a year ago, a year and a half ago, maybe. Again, I'd say that like I went through all of the manifestation coaches that you could possibly imagine. And then I came across Eric from the Power of I Am, and he really drilled it home for me. Had a couple coaching calls with him, and he really made it stick. And I was still like, this is so easy. Like, I feel like there's more of a process. And then, at the time I was manifesting an SP, which was my ex, and I did all the wrong things. I put them on a pedestal. I affirmed a billion times a day, and I was checking the 3D and trying to see if things changed. And then I ran her completely out of my life. And then I kind of gave up on that desire. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to focus on myself. I'm going to take Eric's advice. I'm just going to go full self concept. And then within the first week, um, the girl that I'm currently with now approached me at a restaurant. And she basically, set all the cards on the table. And if it wouldn't have been for my new self concept, she wouldn't have, because she now perfectly matches the self concept that I have. And yeah, here we are pretty much a little over a year later together and happy as ever. So I guess it would be about then, maybe like October of last year. Shay, I have one case of one admission in a course. I applied for it but got rejected due to low marks and all. Now admission is completely over and seats aren't available, but I want admission. What do you suggest? Well, everything is happening now. So don't give truth and finalization to the deadline is over, the deadline has passed, because the deadline is happening right now. If you accept that the deadline has happened and you accept that there are no more seats, then that is going to be a reality. You have no idea what can happen. Somebody could drop out, they could reconsider. Just be in the end where you are already I want admission on a course. Yeah, that you are already in this course, that this course is going great. Be the person now who is already in it, and things will mold to you. There is a reality right now where you are in that course, where you are, you know, going steadfast with that course. So stop being aware of deadlines, stop being aware of situations in the 3D. There are so many situations of people, going through exams and things like that, and they got or going through job interviews, and they told them no, it's not going to happen, but then they remained steadfast and they're like, no, this is my job. They love me so much, they want me more than they can know. And then they get a call a week later and they're like, yeah, this one person dropped out, we actually really want to consider your application. Like, you have no idea what can happen, so don't rule out the possibility that something can happen. So go to the end of already being in this course. No matter what you see in the 3D, no matter what deadline has happened, no matter what you see with the low marks or the admission being over or anything, just be in the class now. Astrobot, you gonna set up a Rumble, Tyler? No, probably not. If you could get money from any means, why limit yourself to winning the lottery? Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people think that it needs to come from this one source, but you could be infinitely abundant from any single way possible. Yeah, could you explain how to win the lottery? I explained that already. How would I be the person for something basic like I got a free green hoodie? How do I imagine myself as the person with the green hoodie? Just go within and see yourself wearing a green hoodie and know that it's in your closet without you even needing to see it. Whenever you think of the topic of the green hoodie, I have it. Yes, it's mine. And somehow, some way, the universe, God will move things around for you to accept a green hoodie. It's a nation level admission, not specific college, so I'm getting stuck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The everything is neutral to God, to infinite intelligence. It doesn't matter if it's national or specific or global or whatever. It does not matter. Everything is the same. All you have to do is be the person who is already there, who's already that person, and everything molds around you. That's it. Understand that the true reality is within, that the outside cannot offer you anything unless you say so. So don't look at the 3D as the truth. Look at your internal world as the truth, who you are being within. Walk, talk, speak, act, experience life that way as that person, and life will bend to you. Great tip to win the lottery. Go to the end like I already won the lottery. Easy enough. Tyler, make a video on how tarot cards and birth charts are pure BS. Yeah, they are. I mean, I wouldn't say they're BS. They're just you're giving the power to them. So many people think that tarot cards are this like magical external thing that are making things happen. They think that birth charts are a magical thing that are all it's doing is telling you where your awareness is currently at. That's it. It's telling you where you're at. It's not telling you this is going to happen and this person is coming your way. You get to decide that. Tarot cards are fine if you understand that all it is doing is telling you where your awareness is currently at and that you are giving power to this. Michelle Louise, hi. Just seen that you were live. Will you upload this? Yeah, absolutely. First one of many. Damn, we're at 2 hours already. That flew by. Another tidbit for the Tyler Army. The universe will manifest in the easiest way possible. Try it with an object, any object. Or try it with a cookie and see what happens. Make sure you say breathe, though. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You have no idea how it's going to come. It's going to come in the path of least resistance, though. Give our high and love to your girlfriend as well. I absolutely will. I think she's probably asleep right now. She was on this live for a second. She popped in. I don't think she said anything, but just to show you how your subconscious and subconscious work together. Yeah, it's all one. It's all you. There's nothing separate. Thanks again for answering our questions and reassuring us. Of course, that's what I'm here for. It's very fulfilling helping people. You know, I was in that space for a long time, so it's really cool to shave down time for people. Thank you, dear. Yeah, no problem, dear. Tyler, what's your sign? JK. I'm a Virgo. August Virgo. August 27th. Astrobot, tarot only reflects the current momentum or mood. Yes, correct. So, I mean, if you're aware where your awareness is currently, then tarot is useless because it's just like, oh, yeah, you're telling me what I already know. Right? When you become aware of yourself, we're all in Barbados. Hell yeah. Correct. As a reader, true Astrobot. I've been manifesting my friend to contact me since we last spoke in 2024. No fallout or anything. I affirm for him often, though, but mainly on my manifestation list. Any advice? Yeah, just be the person now who always gets contacted by your friend. Stop being aware of the version or stop being aware of the story that you have last spoke since 2024, because then you will recreate that story in the now. Take your awareness off of that. Stop it. Don't ignore the 3D. That's not what I'm saying, but go within and give yourself the story that you two are in perfect contact. Y'all contact each other frequently, and that everything is perfect and it's never been better. How did you pick your channel name? Well, if you've seen The Matrix, there is a scene in there where Neo goes to see the Oracle, and there are kids in there who are basically practicing like telekinesis. And the kid hands a spoon to Neo because the kid is bending the spoon basically with its mind. The kid's like bending the spoon with his mind, and Neo picks it up and he's trying to do it. And the kid's like, don't try to bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth. And Neo's like, what truth? And the kid goes, there is no spoon. He says, when you realize that, you'll realize that you're only bending yourself. So he's basically saying you and the spoon are not separate. The spoon is bending to you and who you are being. That's the same thing as reality bending to you and who you are being. You're not making this thing happen. It is bending to who you are being. So yeah, no spoon. I am no spoon. JT Max, I have a question. When it comes to living on the end and pedestalizing an SP, is it contradictive to living in the end to date someone while the 3D hasn't caught up? Oh, wait, what? I have a question. When it comes to living in the end and pedestalizing an SP, shouldn't pedestalize an SP. Is it contradictive to living in the end to date someone while the 3D? No, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. That could be all part of your perfect unfolding. Like, if you are in the end internally who is with your SP, but you decide in the 3D to go date somebody else, you can very well say that that is part of the unfolding. And that's maybe what needs to happen. So you never know. Don't think that like I'm ruining my manifestation by certain actions that I'm taking in the 3D. It's all who is doing it. It's not contradicting it. Your mind knows what you want, right? It's not the action you take, it's the identity who is taking the action. Yes, you were at 2 hours. I snuck away and did my 30-minute cardio workout. Shit. Yeah, I didn't do cardio today. Let's Probably means Tyler's thinking of a workout. Dude, literally. Okay, wait. As in dating someone who's not your SP. Yeah, I got you. Probably means Tyler's thinking of a workout. Yeah, now I am. I'm remembering how I didn't do cardio today, but it's fine because I'm incredibly shredded and I have my ideal body, so it doesn't matter what I do. Michelle Louise, if we are feeling fears and doubts about if we can have what we want, is affirming a good way to pull our mind out of it? Yeah, yeah, it's all the definition that you give to these feelings. Again, these feelings are completely neutral. The feeling of fear and doubts, they are only feelings of fear and doubt because you're assigning the meaning of fear and doubt to these feelings within you. You can feel however you want, but still say, I have everything I've ever wanted, everything is perfect, blah, blah, blah. I am this person, XYZ. It's all what you define. You are a defining machine with everything in your reality, which is completely neutral. You go, this means that means that, this feelings means this, blah, blah, blah. You can just understand that these feelings are the weapons of the old identity trying to pull you back. You've claimed this great story, and then your old identity goes, oh, we're not familiar with this. Let's try and throw everything at her that we can. Feelings, emotions, opposing circumstances, experiences that don't line up with our new story pull you back. Let's try. If you can be like, nope, that has nothing to do with me anymore. Nope, sorry, that has nothing to do with me anymore. Take a seat. Then that voice, those emotions, those mechanisms start quieting down, and then a new voice starts becoming birthed in your new identity, and it starts becoming on your side, starts becoming your hype man. Just keep going every single day. Stop worrying about time, stop worrying about deadlines. If it's working, it is working because you decide it's working. Tyler just opened the 99 landscape portal, bro. Oh man, fucking full moon water. Man, I can tell y'all are all over Eric's shit, man. Yeah, all of this stuff works if you say it works, but you're the one giving it power. B, can you tell us your knowledge about what your SP feels when you affirm for them? They feel exactly what you feel at the very exact moment that you feel it. If you think a certain way about yourself, your SP thinks about you that way. If you think a certain way about your SP, they have to reflect that to you perfectly right here and right now because all we have is now and everything is connected. There's no thought transmission. You don't send a thought to somebody and they receive it. It's you think it, they reflect it. You think it, they reflect it. You think this way about yourself, they think about you that way. You think this way about the relationship, they think this way about the relationship. Matilda Gutter. Tabitha defeated. Oh my gosh, y'all are doing some throwbacks right now. That's some old Eric. Okay. Bloody, should you be worried if you had been robotically affirming for 1 year and still in the same situation, but trying not to notice, as that would be a sign of lacking? I mean, nothing is ever lost. So, I robotically affirmed for a year too. Like, it's completely okay. Nothing is ever lost. It's just finding the way to correctly go about this for yourself and keep it sustainable. Again, I say robotically affirming is fine if you have a good self-concept. Because if you were the person that was completely loved and cherished and knew that they were adored and was the best option and was completely irresistible, and then you robotically affirmed for your SP, which you wouldn't need to do because you have the self concept that backs all of this up, then your SP would come in and it would be sustainable. But if you robotically affirm that your SP is obsessed with you, but you're the identity as a self concept that nothing ever works out and you always get ghosted, you get cheated on, and you're this version. Once you stop robotically affirming, your self concept is going to show and they're going to reflect that perfectly to you. And they're going to leave. Once again, hot and cold behavior, right? Makes sense. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. And this might be a silly question, but when you affirm in your mind, do you sometimes hear your own voice mentally saying the affirmations? Is that okay? Yeah. No, yeah. I always hear my voice. I always hear my voice saying it back. Everything you say and everything you think is an affirmation. Affirmations, again, are not magical phrases that you say. It's everything you say and everything you think is an affirmation. You are affirming for something. So, whatever you define, whatever you perceive, whatever you describe, whatever you think to yourself, that's an affirmation. So, you don't need to repeat a single sentence over and over, just whatever you think, however you talk to yourself. I don't mean to offend, but did you see it as a failure that you didn't manifest your ex and just moved on? Initially, yeah, I did when I didn't understand this. I definitely did. I was like, I kind of had the feeling of like, oh, this doesn't work or whatever, whatever. But again, I had that call with Eric and he just like laid it out cut and dry. He was like, man, this is fucking what you need to do. Just fucking focus on yourself, blah, blah, blah. And I had nothing to lose at that point. And I was like, all right, shit. I'm the greatest to ever do it. I'm pure perfection. Everything that I do turns to gold, blah, blah, blah. And I started getting inspired action to go to the gym and inspired action to meditate and to, really take care of myself and eat healthier foods and all of these things. I wasn't doing these actions to make something happen. It came from me identifying as this new person, hyping myself up, focusing on my self concept. And then once I was walking through my day doing that, then a new match came to me. And now I'm happier than ever. Now I look at, not to be ugly, but I look at that person as not even close to a match as to me anymore. Do angels numbers mean anything as 11, 11, 4, 4, 4? It's all the meaning that you give. You can assign a meaning to every single number if you want. You could say universe 333 means yes. 222 means no. And 111 means this. And then your reality will correspond with that. And every time that you see 333, that will mean yes. You can give it any meaning that you want. But usually, seeing angel numbers means that you're in alignment. Any angel number, that means it's like kind of a nod from the universe. It's like, yep, yep, you're on the right track. You're doing exactly what you need to do. Zorro, is it true that you can't manifest things? Can't manifest things that you don't want? Um, you can manifest things that you fear because you have your awareness on it. It's all awareness. If you don't want something, but you have your awareness on the thing that you don't want, your reality is going to bring it to you because you have your light and your awareness on it. It's whatever you have. It does your mind doesn't know this person wants it or doesn't want it. It's what is this person's focus and attention on. Dean Tyler, if you have the Lions portal, then I'm going to vibrate these 2 cups of water right quick and join them. Do it, man. Yeah, stick it under the moon for a few hours and slurp it down and come on back. See. Yep, affirming in the car. Now the car battery. The car battery is meaning of your intention. You don't need a car unless you choose it as part of your Joseph Campbell hero's journey. Correct. Not the car battery. You're welcome. Gotta get help out of the version of myself that goes by. Man, this community is great. Best community of all time. Sunshine Rose. Have you ever had any instant manifestation? Yes, absolutely. I do it. I have it all the time. Um, People calling me, receiving money instantly. I'm talking within a matter of seconds. Um, Shit, I don't know. It happens like all day now. Like this is how I operate throughout my entire day. Um, I don't see the 3D as the true reality anymore unless it reflects exactly what I see internally. I see the internal reality as the true reality. So it's all kind of jumbled, I guess. Like things just happen all the time and I kind of just forget about it because it's just like so normal to me now. But yeah, instant manifestation all the time. But manifestation is actually instant in consciousness. It's just the reflection in the 3D that trips a lot of people up. All right. See, you should have stopped looking for signs and wonders, even in scriptures. Yes. I can feel Eric's presence in this live, really. Can anybody else feel the same? Yeah, that's not a bad thing. I take that as a compliment. A lot of people say I sound like Eric, but I don't give a shit. That means I understand it. But again, if you say it will happen instant, it will happen instant. Instant is a way of speaking. Time is an illusion. Everything is happening now. Your birth, your death is all happening now. So instant is instant. The reflection is what you're talking about, which is what we're not giving validation to. Astrobot, yep, mirror principle. The way you change the mirror is by filling your cup. What is the mirror doing? Mimicking you, i.e., it's filling your cup. Yes, correct. Victory and glory. I love it. All right, Shauna, if we have a hard time staying in the end of being married, should we just say we are in a loving, committed relationship? I mean, yeah, I mean, if it's tripping you up to say that you're, fully married and that's your ego is fighting you hard on that, I would say maybe go a little more gradual with being like, you're in a loving, committed relationship. Yeah, that's completely fine. Nothing is ever lost though. So you're not going backwards, you're not losing. Just do whatever feels most comfortable for you. Again, like with money, people try and affirm that they have a certain dollar amount. Like I have $100,000 and their ego really has something to be able to fight them on. But if you gradually say, every day I'm in more abundance, I always have more than enough, then your ego has a hard time fighting that. Dion, did you ever affirm for manifesting instantly? For example, I am a master at manifesting. I manifest anything that I want instantly. Yeah, I did until I realized that you're as good a manifester that you could ever possibly be. You have been a manifester since birth. You have been manifesting your entire life, and you actually can't get any better at manifesting than you already are. It's just becoming aware that you are doing it and in the direction that you want it to go. Like you can't become a more powerful manifester. You are already as powerful a manifester that you could possibly be. But at first I was like, I'm a master manifester. I manifest instantly. And, that only got me so far. But when I understood that as a spiritual being having a human experience, you are as good a manifester that you will ever be in your entire life. It's just becoming aware to that fact. Oh, all right. I'm getting tired, everybody. Very good live stream. Good first live stream, everyone. I appreciate you all so much. I got a video dropping Sunday, which is today at 1 p.m. CST. But yeah, I'll do plenty of more live streams. This is just the first of many. Just wanted to kind of test the waters. I think we had a nice turnout. Did 2 hours and 20 minutes. Damn, dude, time flies on these things. But yeah, I love you all so much. Hope you all have a great day, great night, wherever you are. And yeah, this is No Spoon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.